Our journey begins. It is day 143, October 21, 2024, and it's a beautiful sunrise morning. And just, I don't know if you can, the camera rarely does things like this justice, but the trees in the background, like their color, and it was getting me thinking about, like, is there a way to enhance our existence? And then, if you can enhance one's existence, should you enhance your own existence versus enhancing the existence of others? So let's start with, like, can you enhance? So what does enhance mean? To me, that means, like, when I look out at those beautiful trees, there's something within me that is above and beyond what I normally feel when I see those trees and they're not colorful. So it's like the newness, the uniqueness, the beauty of it. And I think this is like why people buy a better car and a better house, and they buy art for in their house, because it enhances their existence being around beauty more often. And yeah, I think in that respect, though, you can still get an opportunity where, like, maybe you have all the beauty around you, but you still feel miserable inside, which is why, like, it's a holistic thing. But in general, there are people that are, like, happier, more fulfilled, sort of have done things to enhance their lives versus other people. And a lot of it has to do with, like, your internal brain state. Like, are you content? Do you meditate? Like, that sort of extent. So then, yeah, it seems to me pretty obvious that you can enhance one's existence, and that a lot of times it can be simple things like different various routines, and that's what people are often chasing. They're like chasing a better life, a better relationship, a better house, all of this stuff, which is basically just a way to enhance their life. And there's different ways of framing it. You could also frame it as, like, it's the evolutionary desire to, like, be better than your fellow humans, or to like appear like the best so you can get a better relationship, so that you can further the human race and yourself further with, like, your offspring or something. So there's definitely different ways of framing it, but enhancing your life is, like, probably one of the more romantic ways of framing it, but I still think it has some element of truth. So then it's like, should one enhance their life? Like, for example, let's say you have a routine where you have to go to this backbreaking job, to, like, pouring concrete or something, and maybe you really don't like the job also. So you're there doing the job every day, part of your routine, like 8-10 hours a day. That's a big part of your day that your mind has to be doing that task, your body's doing that task, it hurts. So then it's like, you could enhance your life by doing a different job, by maybe working in an office, or maybe framing is better for you than pouring concrete. And it's like, well, should you do that? Should you not just suffer? If someone in the world has to do that job, why should it not be you? Because if you're suffering by doing the job, then you're taking the place of someone else who has to suffer that's doing the job. I think that is a selfless desire. That's what someone would say if they're, like, selfless. It's like, someone has to do it, I'll take their place. Oftentimes that's not the way people think about it. They're just like, this happens to be what I'm good at, or what I got stuck doing, and it pays well, or something like that. Even though, like, holistically, they would be better off getting paid less and doing a job that they enjoyed more. And so I think in general, it's like, that's where it gets to the next question of, should you enhance your own life versus trying to enhance the lives of others? Like, should you get the office job that you can enjoy more, that can benefit the world, or should you let someone else, should you, like, in your off time, help others to be able to have the skills to do an office job so they don't have to do concrete. Now, this analogy is not the greatest, and especially if you don't understand construction, but it is sort of that aspect, that whole idea of, do you sacrifice your own happiness for the happiness of others? And that's what it comes down to, a little bit of that discussion yesterday of what your belief system is. If you're going to, so let's use my alternative methodology, because it totally depends on where you're coming from this. If the methodology is making no assumptions until you absolutely have to, and then at that absolutely have to moment, you make the assumption that is most probable. You say, it's everyone's most probable, I'm going with that. Like, there's no, like, you're not exercising faith in any step of the journey. It still gets into complicated gray areas even with that methodology. But what are you gonna do? Life is complicated. So if we use that methodology of not assuming, I'm not sure how that works with this question of sacrificing, of enhancing your own life. If I had to guess, you could use, and that's where like this methodology isn't totally sound and probably not thought through enough, but you could say, well, there's either two choices, which automatically is probably a false dichotomy. You could either enhance your own life, or so there's essentially three choices if you were to boil it down. Enhance your own life and the other person's life in a sort of stable state. So then there'd be four options. Enhance your own life and enhance the other person's life, which creates a synergy where you're enhancing each other's lives more so than you could be if you just enhanced your own life or if you just enhanced the other person's life. Or you could say, I'm not going to enhance my own life, but I'm going to enhance the lives of others. So using that methodology, you wouldn't want to assume that it's only possible to do the option where the only way to enhance other people's lives is to sacrifice your own life. You would want to assume that you can do both. And if you're going from it from a little bit of a utilitarian perspective of like the greatest amount of enhancement possible, then you would say, well, probably because of the control that you have over your own life, you would want to enhance your own life. Because of that control, you'd want to start with that, and while doing so, enhance the lives of others, and if possible, get in that state where it's a synergy of enhancing, of where you're both working together to enhance life. Anyway, I don't know if this is necessarily helpful for anything particular, just more of a thought experiment, but just a way to appreciate the background. I mean, see the blue and the pink, and I don't know if you can see the moon, and yeah, it's just beautiful. And then the trees is like, I get to appreciate this, and it makes me a little bit sad that I get to when other people do not. Other people living in the desert or in the middle of the city. And you could say, well, that's its own kind of beauty. And yes, that's true. But a lot of people would not choose to live there. They would choose to live here. And that, I guess, does make me a little bit sad. So it's like, do I give up my place here so that someone else can be here instead of me? And I think rather than doing it like that, which automatically is like sort of self-defeating, you just say, I want to be able to share this. Like, we both should be able to experience this. So I guess in that respect, I'm kind of doing that now, where we both get to experience this beauty. Anyway, I guess you can tell I like the color of the fall leaves. All right, have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.